How's it, everybody? And a warm welcome to the NFT show. I'm your host, Philip Galinko, and tonight we are doing a Freestyle Friday without Cade. Sure, we're going to be okay. Going to miss him. He'll be back next week. Going to be covering a lot of topics. We've got a lot of big companies that are coming into Web3 this week alone. We got Apple, we got Walmart, we got Christie's auction house, we got Funko Pop, we've got Napster. Remember that old music platform that we used to steal our music from? We've got Liverpool, the soccer club, we've got Builder Bear, and much, much more. Before we get into it, if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, lots of alpha, join our Discord, follow the NFT show on YouTube. If you're not already, only 55% of our viewers are subscribed. It's not acceptable. I see guys saying 85%, 90% of their viewers are subscribed. So if you aren't subscribed already, please do so. Let's have a look at what's going on in the markets. A reminder that nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and you should always do your own research. So if you're having a look here, we're the 30th of September, so pretty much the end of September. Total OpenSea volume for this month is 343 million. Thought it was quite interesting. If we look at last September, just to put this in perspective, we had just under 3 billion. Okay, so last September 2021, we had just under 3 billion. And this September, we've got just over 300 million. It just it shows you where we came from. With that said, we do know that about 25% of all volume is now happening on other platforms. I would say even from when we've been looking at this on DAP Radar, about 50%. Because if you look here, and it's not just today, OpenSea's 10 million, X2Y2 has consistently been doing about 3 to 4 million. Yesterday, they were 4.2 million. Magic Eden, since the Utes drop, has been consistently doing 3 million. Blocktobe, 1 million. Immutable X, another million. GameStop, looks rare, another 1.5 million. So, if we look at it, we've got OpenSea 10 million, and then 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, more than that on others. So we could even double this number, right? Because last September, 99% was going through OpenSea. We can double it to get a better idea. You're looking at 690, 700 million compared to 3 billion. So guys, definitely in a deep bear. And you can see it's the lowest that it's been on OpenSea since July last year. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Just important to know where we're at. If we have a look at crypto, crypto the last 2 days has really been positively surprising me, because on the stock exchange, the last 2 days have not been great. Well, the last freaking month has not been great. But I mean, if you look now where we're at currently, just have a look at the tech stocks over here. You've got NASDAQ down over 1% on average. I did check before the show. S&P 500 also down about 1.5%. And yesterday was the same. And if we look at crypto, it's up 1% in the last 24 hours, hasn't moved much between this sort of 1,250 and 1,4. It's been chugging around there. Now, I'm not saying that this is a decoupling from the stock exchange, but it is the beginning. If this continues, if the NASDAQ and cryptocurrencies continue doing different things, then maybe it is a decoupling. It's very early to say that. It's been 2 days specifically where it hasn't moved in the same direction, but it is something that I've noticed and something that's quite interesting. Now, remember that crypto and the stock market was not always correlated. I mean, it used to be that crypto was almost digital gold in a way, and we know in risky times, gold, real bullion, real gold, and Bitcoin used to go up, and that may still happen here. That hasn't happened on real gold or Bitcoin in this last 3 months or 4 months where we've been dealing with what we've been dealing with. A lot of guys that know about metals have been quite surprised that we haven't seen gold going up. The guys who really know what they're talking about 6 months ago, who were saying that we're going to have a deep bear, were saying buy gold. And gold's 16,000, 17,000 around there. I'm talking rand, so $1,600, $1,700 around there. And we haven't seen it doing what it used to do, which is interesting. Maybe it still will. But yeah, I think the point is, is that what happened or worked yesterday doesn't happen or work today, right? And the market is fluid. The stock exchange market is fluid. The crypto market is fluid. The world is fluid. Things are changing, and I think we do get pigeonholed into applying the things that used to work to the things that will work now. And it's important to realize that things do change. I had someone in my Discord the other day say he's quite new to the space. What is the relationship between the crypto price and the floor price on NFT collections? And it used to be about a year ago that if crypto went up, the floors would be positive. They would hold or they would go up because the feeling was that crypto's doing well. And if crypto went down, the floors would also sort of stay or go up, right? Now we're seeing that no matter what crypto does, the floors of NFTs are going down. So if crypto drops 5%, people get scared and NFTs drop, even though the value is in crypto, the price comes down. And if cryptocurrencies are going up, Ethereum goes up, people are saying, hold on, this is now worth more, and people are selling and cashing out because they can see we're in a long bear of NFTs, and the floor's going down. So we have the opposite happening. So it's not what it used to be, and what's happening now is not what it's going to be forever. I think for now, the thing to remember is that the best thing that crypto can do is what it's been doing the last 2 days, is stay pretty consistent from an NFT perspective. That's the best thing, because when guys feel like that is that crypto is consistent, when guys feel that that's safe or safer and feel comfortable with that, then it won't have such a huge impact on the floor price of the NFTs like it is at the moment. So that's really what we want, and I hope that answers that question quite nicely. Let's jump into what's trending, what NFTs are trending. If we have a look here, we've got this QQL Mint Pass. This one minted yesterday. Let's actually talk about this one. It's Tyler Hobbs's collection. If you don't know Tyler Hobbs, he is the artist behind Fidenzas. And anyone in NFTs interested in art has heard of Fidenzas. It's one of the holy grails of NFT art. You can see here, on the 24th of August, there was a 150 ETH sale. And there's been a few. I mean, there's a lot of sales over 100 ETH. And currently the floor price is sitting just under 100 ETH at 96 Ethereum. So Tyler Hobbs launched this new collection yesterday called QQL Mint Pass. Now, first of all, you see here 900 items, 946. It was a 14 ETH mint per NFT, right? And they sold out in a bear market. So it's not like nothing is happening here. And, if you think about it, to have entry into the Tyler Hobbs ecosystem, this is your lowest entry point. Now, it's quite an interesting collection in that these are mint passes, right? So these are obviously not the finalized NFTs, but they're not even unrevealed, technically. They're a mint pass. And what you're going to do is you're going to burn your mint pass, if you choose to, in order to generate your own artwork. You will generate that artwork yourself. So it will be completely your input that's going to determine the artwork, obviously in Tyler Hobbs's style, sort of like multi-beasts, right? From the way they did it, where they had a personality test, and that personality test led to, yes, we are Crypto Dream actually live. Welcome. That personality test for multi-beast led to the answers you gave, determined the artwork that you had. So sort of like that. The other interesting thing about this, and this is really, really interesting, is that 2% is, so let's just start like this. If you've got a mint pass or buy a mint pass off the floor, and then you use it to mint an NFT, you will earn 2% royalty on that particular NFT for the rest of time. So let's just say you mint it and then you sell it for 25 Ethereum. So you will earn 2% of that 25 Ethereum. Then let's say the guy who buys it for 25 ETH sells it to someone else for whatever, it doesn't matter, for 30 ETH, 50 ETH, for 10 ETH, it doesn't matter. He at that sale, you will earn 10% in 2% in perpetuity. So you're going to be earning on that if you mint it. That's the thing. If you burn your mint pass, mint the NFT, you now earn 2% in perpetuity on that, which is really, really interesting. And the way that people might say, okay, that sounds like a security. So there's a general test that's done for the security. And the one thing is that it doesn't apply to artwork. And the other thing that's interesting with it is that it's if you get gain from someone else's work is one of the criteria that makes it a security. So over here, the fact that you are part creator in this artwork, because you're going to be generating it yourself, helps from that perspective also. So first, it's art, which art is not considered a security because you don't necessarily buy it for gain. You buy it to appreciate the art. Yes, if it appreciates in value, great, but that's not necessarily the reason why you're buying it. And second of all, you covered from the fact that you're generating it, which is really, really interesting. I think it's called the Hughes test, if I'm not mistaken, right? So yeah, I mean, look, I'll be really upfront with you guys. If this wasn't the bear market that we were in, I would jump at this at this price. I would have jumped at it at 14 ETH, and I would probably go as high as 25 ETH, because to have a Tyler Hobbs, who in the NFT space is one of the greats, to have one of his NFTs is something very, very, very special. And again, low collection size. You can see in just over 24 hours, over 3,600 volume done. I mean, the way we got to this was we were looking at the trending projects. It's number one. Obviously, it's just minted. We do typically see a lot of volume when something just mints. But again, with someone who's got a collection holding 100 ETH floor, this is a special piece of art. So that's QQL in a nutshell. I mean, in the end of the day, to think that Tyler Hobbs, and congratulations to him, a big congratulations to him, was able to raise like $15 million in a bear market with ETH at $1,300 only. He could raise $15 million is absolutely incredible. Here you can see examples of what the art may look like. Some of the artwork over here, completely generative, generative art. So by your inputs, it will generate by a computer program. But these are just examples of what it could look like. So very, very interesting collection for sure, and one that I'm going to be watching. Crypto Dream, thank you for your super chat. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we got a really introspective show. Going to talk about lots of things. Going to miss Kate tonight, but yeah. Oh no, Paul. No, Paul. Was it not showing the whole time? Oh my God. I'm going to have to talk about it again. Oh my God. I can't believe it wasn't showing. That's terrible. Look, the only thing I really showed you, I mean, the joys of being live, the only thing I really showed you was the Fidenza floor price over here, and also what the artwork looks like. Other than that, I was really just on the OpenSea page scrolling up and down for the new collection. And it hasn't revealed yet, right? So that's all I was really doing. So it's not the end of the world. Thanks for letting me know, Paul. Thanks for letting me know. All right, so that's that. Let's see what else has been trending in the last 24 hours. We've got Renka coming back. I mean, it's not like it ever disappeared, but it wasn't on the top 10 chart the last couple of days. Coming back with a vengeance over here, 1.66 Ethereum, up 2%. Clone X, slowly coming up. I remember at 5.5 ETH, I couldn't believe it. Look, at 7 ETH, I couldn't believe it. Every time it went down from 20, I couldn't believe it. So sitting at 6.77. Other Deed hasn't really moved much at all in the last week since we met last. 1.6 Ethereum. Mutant Ape Yacht Club has come down slightly in the last week, 15.5. I think people are realizing that the ApeCoin staking is only going to be happening in 5 weeks. It's a long time to wait in a bear market. I do expect to see a pump closer to that staking, and we did do a video that I uploaded on staking, which you can watch if you want on the YouTube channel. We got Moonbirds also holding very steady for the last week at 10 Ethereum. Bored Apes also come down slightly, similar story to Mutants, sitting at 82 Ethereum. Black Box, which is Renga's unrevealed, sitting at 3 Ethereum. So you can see guys like to gamble, right? They want to get the unrevealed to see if they're going to get a rare. So that's covering some of them. Another collection that I wanted to bring to your attention, which is really quite interesting, is Azra Games, right? The Hopeful. Now, this one minted about 2 days ago. Collection size of 5,600. They used Magic Eden's launchpad. And it went very smoothly. I mean, hats off to Magic Eden. Utes also went very smoothly. Gas was good. You can mint an ETH or Solana. It's an ETH project. Minted at, I think it was zero point 0.2, if I'm not mistaken. No, guys, this one was free. Azra was free, absolutely free if you had whitelist, which is really, really cool. So this one minted free, went all the way up to 0.45, all the way down to 0.25 because it revealed immediately, and has now been it went up to 0.36, has now dropped down to 0.32. So there's a couple of interesting things here. First of all, you got a 5,500 collection with 52% unique owners. Now, the one thing here is that the team minted 1,200 of these. 1,200. So that's a lot, okay, for the team to mint. Other than that, it was limited to one per wallet unless people had registered with multiple wallets. So we were sitting at a 70% unique owner yesterday, and obviously now it's coming down as people either buy multiples or guys who aren't going to hold it long term, flippers or paper handers, get out of it, right? These guys have got VC funding of $6.6 million, which they got back in May. And we have seen a meta of VC-funded projects doing well. And these guys have been building since then. The investment company that invested in them is A16Z, which is a very well-known venture capital company in the space, right? The founders are from Virtuous Game Studios, which is also a well-known game studio. And they've also got, so they're better known as Electronic Arts, right? So they've got Star Wars, Galaxy of Heroes, lots of different games. And the Hopeful, this collection is their first game and only mint for the special collection of NFTs that they're going to call PFP. So they've said this is the only PFP project that they're doing, their first and their only, okay? The reason for this being possibly a play, and look, I think short term, meaning the next couple of days, this might even go slightly lower because it's been trending downwards today. I've been watching it. I think anything at 0.25, and not financial advice, anything at 0.25 is good medium to long term, right? So the reason behind it obviously is the venture funding, A16Z behind them, Electronic Arts, who everyone knows in the space, right? So you got a really great team on top of that as well. Just want to show you over here a very interesting roadmap. I've put the link to the website on this description. So if you want to have a look, and look at it more details, you can have a look. But you can see we're pretty much in phase 2 at the moment, the Hopeful NFT mint. And then the next is going to be a layer 2 announcement. Obviously for the game, what layer 2 are they going to use? A trailer token offering and Legion and Legends light paper. Then phase 4 is sandbox testing, soft launch of the game, and say phase 5 is a worldwide launch. So look, I mean, these guys, if you just check this team, I mean, it is stacked to the brim, and this is completely legit. So, we all say that it's very hard for games to do well. We know that. It takes a lot of money, a lot of time to build a game. And even then, only a handful of so many become the Fortnites and the thing that the games that everyone likes to play. With that said, these guys probably have as good a chance as any in getting it done. The team is massive, experienced guys who have been building games. Electronic Arts is amazing, really as a game company. So I'm bullish on these guys. I'm really bullish. I called it in the Discord yesterday, in my Discord, at 0.26 ETH. It went all the way up to 0.39, and then now it's dropped back a bit. But definitely one that I would keep on my radar. So that's one that I'm really, really interested in. All right, let's get into the news, everybody, and feel free to comment or ask anything. You can always jump onto whatever topics you want. All right. So the big news of this week, the biggest news, and there's quite a lot of big news. The biggest news is we've got Apple, right, has decided to let developers sell NFTs inside of games or apps that are on the App Store. All right. So this is mass adoption, bottom line, because if you want to get NFTs on every phone, this is the way to do it. Yes, if we can't have this, we'll take the Solana phone, and thank you, Solana, for doing that. But I mean, this is really, really a step in a direction for NFTs that I think very few people realize. Maybe medium term to long term. I remember when QR codes were initially developed, and only now it was 10, 15 years ago, and only now have people really started using them, and you see them around and people use them. NFTs were originally developed about 13 years ago, and so we're a couple of years out of mass adoption. It is more complicated than a small QR code. So it's more like when the internet was developed versus mass adoption, which was 25 years, or the mobile phone or anything like that. But to think that we've got Apple now saying that if you want in your app, you can have NFTs is huge, because the next step is going to be them having NFT wallets on their app as part of the wallet app, in my opinion, right? I'm just, giving my opinion here. I don't have any knowledge of that, but that's just the logical next step. And the next step to that is, mass adoption for NFTs. And you can be sure that all these game developers and app developers that are on Apple's platform are scrambling to launch NFTs within it, to be the first or amongst the first, right? So it does come with a 30% commission on NFTs sold through the app or listed on the marketplace. And if we think of that compared to OpenSea, which is 2.5%, yes, that is high. But if you think that it exposes NFTs to 1 billion people overnight, then it's well worth it. I'd rather have a smaller piece of a massive pie than the entire small pie, right? So yes, 30% is high. I do hope in time it will come down, but that's typically what they do charge. I mean, if you forget NFTs, if you list a normal app or game on the Apple store, you pay that anyway. So look, I think we got to take it for what it is. In my opinion, it is incredibly bullish for the space, and something we should all be really, really excited about. So yeah, man, I'm really happy that this happened. All these adverts here, right? All right, let's have a bit of a drink, and then we're going to go on to Walmart. Usually I wait for Kate to talk on a Friday, then I can have a bit of a drink. So we're making it work as we go along. So another massive name, Walmart. One of the most recognized names, definitely in America, biggest brick and mortar retail store in the States, but also a big name worldwide. I know in South Africa here we've got Massmart, Macro, of which Walmart bought into about 10 years ago. And I think they own 51%, and I think they've just actually bought in more. So, they now own the equivalent of Walmart in South Africa. And I imagine if they did that here, they do that in many, many countries. So, this is also another example, just this week alone, of a massive, massive company that's coming into the space. So Walmart dives into the metaverse with Roblox. Walmart is the latest firm to step inside the metaverse. The metaverse has become a hot topic of conversation everywhere. Governments and large corporations have invested billions in the sector. The general public now believes that the market is the future because of the media coverage it's received. Industry giants from all realms are trying to hop on the bandwagon as it gets popular. While some believe in the true potential, others just want to ride the wave. Founded in 1962, Walmart is America's multinational retail corporation that has branches, various hypermarkets, grocery stores, department stores, and in a recent announcement, they said they're coming into the metaverse. Walmart has announced its debut in a new immersive experience on Roblox, the metaverse mega platform. The experience are termed as Walmart Land and Walmart's Universe of Play. The two experiences will bring interactive content and the best experience of the firm in the metaverse. Walmart Land will deliver the top clothing, accessories, cosmetics, and entertainment products straight to approximately 52 million daily users of Roblox around the world. And if we have a look here, there's no sorry, marketed DCA for this. I'll just give you a bit of an idea. So yeah, I mean, look, I think the more we see huge brands like this, especially the industry leaders like Apple, like Walmart, coming into the space, again, their competitors always are going to be trying to play catch up in real life. Right, so if they're seeing that let's say Apple's going into NFTs, Samsung is going to be like, hold on, guys, if they haven't already, this was something we need to look at very seriously. And the same with Walmart's competition. So I love it when I see the brands like this coming in the space. It really, really, for me, is so bullish. And you can see they've been building for quite a while. I mean, it's all set up, well thought out. And yeah, I hope it works. But it does allow them to bring these characters into games and another revenue stream without the headaches that come with non-digital assets. So that's really interesting. Another incredible story, Christie's, one of the biggest auction houses in the world, is creating its own marketplace. Okay, so we do know that Christie's has been selling NFTs for quite a while. So if you have an NFT and you wanted to sell it, like we know Beeple sold one of these NFTs at Christie's for a huge amount of money. I think it was $50 to $70 million, and many others have gone to Christie's to sell an NFT. But now Christie's has said, "Listen, we're going to launch our own NFT marketplace," and this is very, very interesting because the tie-in with art and NFTs is potentially massive. Because the biggest challenge with art, especially if you're paying $20 million for a Rembrandt or a Picasso, you still don't know for sure if it is the real one. There are people who have bought it off reputable auction houses. The auction houses had the best people in the world check it, and everyone thought it was real. And it's come to light that it's actually a really, really good copy or fake or whatever, right? And that happens a lot. And that's the biggest risk that people have when buying art. Obviously, at somewhere like a Christie's or Sotheby's, who are also coming into NFTs, they're going to be launching in a couple of weeks, actually, an NFT collection. You've got better chance that if they've verified it, that it's legitimate. But it's very hard to prove legitimacy. And here you've got something called an NFT, which is on chain, cannot be altered, and can prove provenance across the board. Exactly where it moved to, when it moved to, and it pretty much takes the guesswork out of art buying. So, I mean, I truly believe in art. There will be a day in the not so distant future that when you buy a piece of art, you will get automatically an NFT with it that proves that it is legitimate. I have no doubt about that in my mind whatsoever. And, I think the same with music. I think music and NFTs have got the hugest correlation because artists get screwed out of their commission on music, all the time. It gets downloaded and, no one ever sees it again. Whereas if it was an NFT, every time it's played, it automatically in the smart contract can pay the royalties to whoever's owed it, which is really, really incredible. So if we just look at what it's saying here, although it remains unclear if Christie's 3.0 will become a fully on-chain marketplace, which hosts images of NFT art pieces on the blockchain, the launch is set to make the auction house even more of an important player in the NFT landscape. Why? The move will amplify one of the critical advantages NFT sales transacted via the blockchain have over sales executed on Web2 platforms: transparency. Every transaction surrounding NFT sales conducted on Christie's will be automatically registered on the Ethereum blockchain. Wow. In practice, this would enable auctions to be carried out on the Ethereum blockchain network from start to finish. And then obviously what's next, I think pretty much what we were saying, that every piece of art sold by them could come with a NFT. So we've got Apple, we've got Walmart, and we've got Christie's all this week telling us that they're jumping into NFTs. Then we come into another really interesting one, Funko Pops. coming into NFTs, right? So I think one thing about most of us NFTers are that we are collectors at heart, right? I'm a collector at heart. I can't see everything around me, but I've got a wall of Hot Wheels on this side, and behind me I've got every Coca-Cola memorabilia you can imagine, and whatever. So I'm a collector, and a lot of guys I've spoken to in the space are also collectors. I've got a couple of Funko Pops as well, and so it does make sense. It's another partnership that NFTs do make sense with, right? Because it's already a collectible. It's already got the rights to these brands, and NFTs just makes complete sense for this, right? So Funko partners with Warner Brothers to make DC collectible NFTs. Funko, we all know what it is. Says the two companies will create physical and digital copies of NFT comics. As per the report, the physical and digital will include a comic book cover for the Brave and the Bold, and the collection will be available as a physical copy and as an NFT. Collectors only just need to connect their wallet to redeem the NFT. The digital copy is minted on the world asset. So what I imagine is that when you buy the Funko Pop, from the sounds of it, the physical Funko Pop in store, you'll open it, scan something, and be able to mint the NFT that goes with it, which I think is really, really cool. And then you'll be able to use that NFT to claim a physical comic and also still keep that NFT. So just another use case, another really, really interesting use case about it, right? And something that I'm very, very excited about, because I love Funko, I love NFTs, and I just like to see Web2 collectibles coming into Web3. It's just such a brilliant use case for it, right? All right, so now OpenSea is saying, obviously I'm sure OpenSea has been watching carefully, and OpenSea is saying we are going to index Solana NFTs automatically, right? So what was happening until now is that if you are a Solana project, you would have to apply to OpenSea to be indexed on OpenSea. And what they're saying, OpenSea now, is that they aim to automatically index all Solana NFTs. So you can choose to buy a Solana NFT on Magic Eden, which is the OG Solana marketplace, or if you prefer OpenSea, you can buy the Solana NFTs on OpenSea once they roll this out. And I think this is a no-brainer. We've definitely been seeing that Magic Eden has been taking up a lot of OpenSea's market share since they've launched Ethereum projects on their blockchain, and also their launchpad has been very, very popular. I mean, I remember when Magic Eden was doing $100,000 a day, and that was good. And we've now consistently, since the Utes drop, by DGods, we've been seeing over $3 million on Magic Eden every day. And I do think that that OpenSea does need to do this, and I do think that it's good for them to do. Because like we were saying in the beginning of this video, everything is fluid, everything changes. And yes, Ethereum has got the reputation currently of being the sort of higher end NFTs. Who's to say that Solana doesn't take that place, or Phantom, or any other network? So I do think, from a risk perspective, from OpenSea's side of things, instead of having all their eggs in the Ethereum basket, it's a great idea to hedge their bets and list Solana NFTs, and I'm sure they'll do other NFTs in time as well. And this just removes that barrier to entry that they put in place originally, making Solana projects jump through hoops and apply. Now it's going to be done automatically, right? So a very, very good move by OpenSea, and we have been seeing them doing quite a lot of different things. Little things, but quite a lot of different things in the last, couple of months. I mean, even their logo here, I don't know if anyone's noticed, has changed. Their homepage here has changed, right? People think that these are the best trending, these images. They're not. There's various things that that make these appear. The ones that are the trending are the ones under it, but even those aren't the top. They are just trending. You got to click top here to see the top 24-hour volume. So I do think these changes originally have been driving a bit of volume to other NFT projects. When people just come here, they're used to seeing the top 10 projects, but they don't realize they have to actually click there to see which ones are the top 10 in the last 24 hours. But the other thing that they've done is their launchpad. So we've seen a couple of launches on OpenSea's launchpad, which is directly in response to, in my opinion, to Magic Eden's launchpad, because Magic Eden was the first to do that. The other thing that we saw, I don't know if you guys remember, but 6 months to 8 months ago, we had Looks Rare taking a massive percentage of OpenSea sale. And now they're not anymore. Why was Looks Rare doing that, or how did Looks Rare achieve that? Well, on Looks Rare, you could place a collection offer. So instead of having to go on each of these and place an offer, you could click, and you can on Looks Rare, make collection offer, and you can make an offer on all the 400 items in this particular collection. And then OpenSea came and launched the same thing, and we've seen Looks Rare go close to negligible amounts compared to where they were at. They were over $1 million easy, consistently, until OpenSea made this change. But OpenSea actually went a step further, and what they did is they allow you to make offers only on certain traits, which Looks Rare never did, right? So I don't know this collection at all, so it's probably not the best example, but let's just say, let's find what's rare here. Royal. So yes, you want a royal. So in theory, I don't know if it's actually going to work for this particular collection. Depending on what the token is, ERC, whatever, will determine whether it works, but let's try. So no, it doesn't let us do by traits. But I know on the main ones, like if I go to Bored Ape Yacht Club here, and it doesn't just have to be the big ones. On like your normal PFP collections, you can make a collection offer only for certain traits at a different price. So you can say, if it's got hoodie, which no Bored Apes have, then here we go, attributes. Right. So here you can say, depending on the attribute, the floor price for an army hat is currently 90 ETH, for a baby bonnet 95, and so on. So I can go to something a bit more rare, like a party hat 2. Floor is 110 ETH, and I can say I want to make a 95 ETH offer on all party hat traits only. And that's something that OpenSea did to one-up Looks Rare. So we are seeing OpenSea innovate. Even here, they're showing more specs. They've also started showing statistics, which Magic Eden does very, very well. Unfortunately, it does take you off their site, which is not ideal. They really should integrate this into their website, because you don't want to jump off their site like I just did as a user. Magic Eden has these stats in their website already, but this is recent for OpenSea, and so I would imagine in time it will be integrated more. But yeah, good to see that OpenSea is making moves in the space. They're not just sitting back, and they have to be honest, because they are the number one target. Every marketplace is targeting their business, their customers, trying to solicit their customers, and so they have to do the same. And I must say they have been doing well, even with all the FUD we give them. They are the leader, and for now, and it's good to see them trying to defend their position. I've also seen them have a lot more activity on their Twitter, OpenSea, in the last month or so. So well done. They hired a social media manager, but there's a lot of stuff going on their Twitter, which there wasn't before, which is really good. And not just tweets, but like literally, here's a Twitter space with Farouk, Ferocious, and they're doing it often, right? So good for them. Take my hats off to them, and very interested to see the Solana projects coming onto OpenSea. See what Paul says over here. I don't know. I just noticed it today. Do you like it, Paul? Guys, let me know in the comments if you like the OpenSea logo with the S. I'm going to show you now. I mean, it always takes a little while to get used to stuff, to get used to changes. Let's jump into it here. Here it is on the top corner here. The S has become a lightning bolt. I do like it, man. I must be honest. I do like it. I do like it. I like it. Let me know what you guys think. All right. What else have we got here? We've got Liverpool. I don't know if any of you have heard of them. They're a tiny little soccer club expanding their Sorara NFT partnership. All right, so soccer's been a betting big on Web3 for a long time, and Liverpool has been on the Sorara network, and now they're saying that they're going to be expanding that. So even in the crypto winter, Sorara has been kept busy. In particular, the company has been at the forefront of forming partnerships with various leagues, some not even related to soccer. 2 years ago, the NBA announced that it partnered with Sorara. 2 months ago, AC Milan partnered with them. 4 months ago, we saw Major League Baseball partner with them. Liverpool's partnership is big news for the Red fans as it allows them to connect with teams in a new way. And it also, if any of the above are indications, it's usually very bullish for both of them. So Sorara is known as the sporting NFT marketplace to go to. If you're a sports club, you want to go into NFTs. Sorara are your people, and we do know that about them. So yeah, very bullish to see a huge club like Liverpool doing that, which is really cool. And then we've got Muhammad Ali. He's coming into the metaverse. He's launching an NFT collection and a game. So it says here to celebrate the 47th anniversary of Muhammad Ali's historic Thriller Manila fight on the 1st of October, the first set of playable avatar boxes in Muhammad Ali, the Next Legends AR metaverse boxing game will be released. Altered State Machine ASM, Non Fungible Labs NFL, and Muhammad Ali Enterprise MAE are the parties behind this project. The new game, Muhammad Ali The Next Legend, players will be boxing avatars as well as AI brains, which are NFTs to train and compete. The debut release of boxing avatars will feature in the upcoming drop of limited edition Pro Pack bundles. Those who purchase one of those Pro Packs will automatically advance beyond the beginner's round. Once officially launched next year, that will happen. To clarify, the first avatars are rookies, in brackets available via an unlimited mint, which is after the drop, and Pro, claimable through the Pro Pack mint. Then Champ and Legend, both of which are available through leveling up only. Thanks to ASM and NFL, users will be able to have input on what their box's appearance is through the introduction of the new minting experience. The new technology will respond and change as users interact with questions about themselves. So we saw that with Multi-Beast, and before that, we've seen that with a few collections, so I don't think it's new. Users will also gain another level of input over their character, influencing their personality and faction of consciousness. Then you'll have the game. So it's really interesting, right? You'll be able to send your boxer into fights. You'll be able to train your boxer. And depending on how you train him or her, send him or her into fights will determine how successful that particular boxer is or isn't. So again, just good to see another big name coming into the space. And then we've got Napster. So we actually spoke about them in the beginning. I think they were on my mind because of today's story. I remember Napster, it was the coolest place. You could now, instead of having to go and buy your CD, you could get your music, your favorite music. You could download it. Those days, the connection were dial up, so it would take like about 45 minutes to get your song, right? But once you got it, it was yours, right? I know Napster got shut down and then they changed their approach. And to be honest, I haven't heard much, just personally, I haven't heard much about them since then. But now they're saying they're making a return as a Web3 music company. Now, music and NFTs are like bread and butter, in my opinion. Again, people get screwed out of royalties on music. NFTs, the contract can avoid that, making sure that from the beginning, coded in the contract is royalties, right? So I do think it's a great fit. And it's interesting to see Napster, the company that was really behind pirated music, whatever, 15, 20 years ago, is now making a return as a Web3 music company, which you've got to assume will mean that it won't be pirated and there will be proper, music NFTs with contracts that give royalties where due. So it's really, really interesting. Napster is back with a decidedly Web3 flair. In late June of this year, the company best known for pirated music in the early 2000s has chosen to relaunch as a Web3 business. Its main focus will be trying different aspects of the music ecosystem and giving more power to creators, fans, and IP holders. To do so, the company is prepping a launch of 10 billion Napster tokens through its foundation, which it hasn't named so far. The 10 billion tokens will provide incentives to artists, fans, and developers to use the Napster ecosystem. Interestingly, regular users will be able to participate and even engage in useful work, according to the company's published light paper. The company wrote that Web3 provides an opportunity for something groundbreaking for music makers, their fans, and right holders. Holding true to Napster's DNA, the company will deliver innovation in that direction. To facilitate the use of the Napster ecosystem, the company will publish a series of smart contracts that anyone can leverage to contribute. The smart contracts will be open source, enable the creation of an asset, and take the asset through all the asset life cycles. That life cycle includes order, listing, and matchmaking. And to further its Web3 strategy beyond the token release, Napster has hired former Roblox global head of music, John Valopoulos, to presumably oversee the running of the metaverse music events in the ecosystem. Although the company does not have a fan base of Roblox or its cachet, it does have the pedigree of an industry disruptor. So yeah, guys, I mean, again, I think a lot of people watching might not even remember Napster, but I do. And they were the company there back then. So really interesting. Great to see them coming into the space. And I think it's really bullish for music in general, and definitely bullish for Web3 for sure. All right, guys. We've got limited edition NFTs coming from Build-A-Bear. Anyone who's got children will know Build-A-Bear. You go into their little magic factory shop and you can build your own bear, do the stuffing, design it. Well, they're coming into NFTs with a limited edition collection. For the 25th anniversary, they're launching its first NFT. The hands-on American teddy bear retailer is partnering with NFT platform Sweet for the Drop, which will place over 3 stages beginning October the 4th and feature digital and real-life collectibles. The NFT launch kicks off with an auction of Build-A-Bear 25th Celebration NFT collection that will feature Swarovski crystals. The winner will also receive a one-of-a-kind physical teddy bear and a trip to St. Louis. I've been there. It's beautiful. On October the 22nd for the brand's 25th anniversary. Starting that auction for the collectible Swarovski one starting on the 4th of October at 12 p.m. Eastern Time and will run until the 6th of October. The digital NFT and its physical counterpart have an opening price of $2,500, which I think is really, really reasonable. I know you guys might laugh, but it really, really is. I mean, these are real Swarovski crystals, and it's iconic. And it also includes the NFT as well as the physical. So I think it's quite cool. And a trip, which is lacquer, man. And it's a one-of-one. So I think it's quite cool. Good way to launch. And then after that, they're going to be launching their main collection. They're going to be having 1,200 guests that will all be entitled to get their NFT. That's really, really interesting. Just a reminder before the last story, today is Freestyle Friday, so feel free to put anything you want to discuss in the chat, and we can chat about it. Got one more story, and if there's no chats in the chat there, then we're going to be ending. But if you guys want me to check out any particular collection or anything you want to ask, now's the time to do it, because there is a bit of a delay from when you post it to when I see it. So again, in the depths of a bear market, with crypto being dead according to the naysayers, and NFTs being dead according to everyone except for the handful of people that are still here, which is every single one of you guys watching this, right? We have a $4.5 million sale of a CryptoPunk. Let that just sink in for a second. 4.451, rounded off to $4.5 million sale of the CryptoPunk. So that's this week alone. I mean, that is as much Ethereum, pretty much almost as much as OpenSea did that particular day. Was, they did about 7 million or 8 million that day. So half of that was just this CryptoPunk, which is absolutely incredible to think of. We also had Mega Mutant from the Board APR Club, or Mutant APR Club, selling for, I think it was 1.4 million or 1.5 million this week as well. And then you couple that with Tyler Hobbs's collection, selling out $15 million worth of NFTs, and already has 3,500 Ethereum traded on it. And you say, hold on a second, it's not dead. People are just holding their money for now until you give them something to spend it on, right? Or a reason to spend it. Especially speaking about the Tyler Hobbs collection there, right? We have seen NFT art has been doing really, really well in this particular bear market. And it's interesting because we also see that artwork in general does really, really well, like physical artwork does really well in difficult times. So it's interesting to see that we're mirroring the in real world art market with the Web3 art market, just from that perspective, that, the best meta in the last couple of months has been art by far. And yeah, I mean, really, really cool. Good to see. I think that this is all great for the space. And again, we are seeing, like in the last 6 months alone, there's been close to $1 billion of VC funding. I looked it up. It's 790 million in the last 6 months. So say this year so far, in the last 9 months, close to $1 billion, maybe $1 billion, maybe slightly over, of VC funded money being pumped into the space. And most of this year, okay, January was still pretty good. February was bad, but we were sort of, had the other side launch. And, by March, everyone knew that it was, not great. And in the last 6 months alone, $700 million have been invested in NFT related projects by venture capital. Right. So the space is not dead, my friends. This is going to be an extended bear market. We've been saying it for months, but it's not dead. There are still opportunities. And when it comes back round, all these stories that we take you through every week, are going to help it come back round, right? When it comes back round, the people who are here, the people who have been here, learning during this time, staying in the space, doing content, building, whatever it may be, whatever your job in Web3 is, will reap the benefits when it comes round again. And not if, when. So mark my words, we will get there. I don't see any comments. Guys, I want to thank you all for joining me so much on your Friday evening. Keep well, and I will see you next week for another live show. Cheers, guys. Thank you.